Rabbi Kaplan, please.
I wanted to answer on a comment that I just heard. I don't have email and I don't have any of these gadgets. I just have a simple cell phone. But my friend, the producer, Hamachuna, the producer, he tells me, and we just got a comment from somebody on something that I said 2.5 years ago, I think, and I wanted to answer this person. Now, it's like this. I don't think that I said anything negative about Chabad, although I can't be sure about it. The activities of Chabad are definitely praiseworthy, but I wanted to say the milas of others. Now, I want to tell you a small story. I was once sitting at the Shabbos table by the Savriner Rebbe, a very, very small Rebbe that you probably didn't hear about him. I was sitting Friday night by the Shabbos meal at his table, and I said to him, while we were drinking, and we were high and ketovli beinu whiskey, so I said to him, listen, Rebbe, I mean, he's younger than me, I didn't call him Rebbe, I said to him, that you could be a very holy Hasidic Yid without talking bad on the Misnagdim, on the so-called Misnagdim. I don't know if there's as many Misnagdim nowadays as there used to be. And I don't know if Misnagdim is the proper word, but that's what they're called in Chabad. I think that you could be a very good Hasidic Yid without talking bad on the Misnagdim. That was the comment that I said, and there was a reason I said it, because of a joke that some person said to me that week, a Lubavitcher, of course, very big zilza on the so-called Misnagdim. So I said, you can be a Hasidic Yid without talking bad on the Misnagdim. So he said, yeah, you could, but in Chabad not. You can't. In Chabad, without making fun of the Misnagdim, you can't be a Hasidic Yid. This is talking about somebody that he's been in Chabad 40 years at least, if not more. And it so happened that this person got up from Shiva and his mother on Chof Kislev. Now, so he saw me in the street in Arnav, so he said to me, you know that I got up from Shiva and Chof Kislev, I went there to be Menachem. So he says to me, he got up from Shiva and Chof Kislev. Wow, he said, look at that. The Alter Rebbe, the Baal Tanya, got out of the house of the Misnagid on Chof Kislev. He was in the Russian jail, and he got out on Yutes Kislev, and they made a Yom Tiv, and then for some reason, he went into the house of a Misnagid over there in St. Petersburg, and the Misnagid held him in the house for a whole day, and he argued with him or whatever happened there, and he got out on that house on Chof Kislev. And he suffered over there maybe even more than in the Russian jail, they say. Now, so this person says, look at me, I'm like the Baal Tanya, like the Alter Rebbe, I got out of the house of the Misnagdim and Chof Kislev, I got up from Shiva from that house. Wow. 40 years went by since I knew him. And we remember when he became a Lubavitcher, and you stayed with the same jokes, and the same looking down, and the same making fun Yidden, they meant for good, meant good. They meant to be Menachem. Of course, I understand that you Chabad have things that the Mishnagdim don't have. Definitely, Limud Achsidus is something that elevates a person and makes a person holy. And I really think I myself should learn more Hasidus. Derech Agav, I have a Seder, a very small Seder, which was misbata a little bit, but in the Sefer Shai Yichud B'Emunah of the Rabbi Strelish, which is Mechutz LaMachne in Chabad, but I feel that he explains things very good, very clearly, and I feel a connection to him. And as I made a Seder in that Sefer, I was mevatlet for a few weeks already, and I hope Hashem should help me. I should get back to it. But anyway, but definitely Hasidus Chabad has a certain koach, and has a certain power of Pnimis HaTorah more than anything else. So with what did he express his Hasidus? With making fun of the Mishnagdim. And Adayam, and I know it's like that in Chabad. Making fun of the Mishnagdim is part of the language, the party line. Now, the Mishnagdim don't talk about Chabad that much. Once in a while the subject comes up, but like who cares? Who's interested? Yeah, right, we don't go out on shlichus. Yeah, of course. Maybe it's a taina, and that's true. What I was saying over there in that talk was, and I hope that the person with the comment will correct me and he'll quote me if I'm making a mistake. And if I did make some derogatory comment about Chabad, it could be it was wrong. But you have to understand, if that's how they talk, so you can understand that we can also talk that way. Now, what I was saying is like this. That there is such a talk in Chabad that the Mishnagdim don't do anything for being Mekar of Yidden to Yiddishkeit. As if they're the only ones that, of course, when you come to India, and you come to places in the hills of India and over there in the different places, that's the only Yiddishkeit you'll find is Chabad. I had a nephew, and his name is Avram Zalman Stub, and he traveled in India together with his wife. Why did he travel in India? I don't know, and I don't think I'll ever understand why. I would be afraid to travel in India, but okay. And he told me he was in a certain place, and not the famous Mumbai or Bombay, whatever you call it, not that famous place. Someplace he was in a city, and whatever you call it, a city or a shtetl or a yishuv in some place in the middle of India, and it came Rosh Hashanah, yeah. And the Chabad rabbi made a minyan, they davened there, and they went to some pond to say Tashlich, or they went, or they didn't go, I don't remember the exact story. And they said that the Goyim don't let them say Tashlich over there. Why? Amazing story. Because one year, the Yidden went to this pond and they said Tashlich, and all the fish died, and it became a swamp, it became a bad reyach, and maybe the water dried up, something, it was a chorban, it was Yavish Amayan, because of course I can understand it, the Yidden threw all their Averas in there. Of course, what Averas could these holy Yidden have? These Israelis that are Metayel and without a Yarmulke, maybe with a Nekeva together with them, what Averas could they have? To know, Shanish, we're holy Jews. We don't make fun of these people. And what could they have? But anyway, they together with the Chabad rabbi, they threw their averas into that pond, and the whole pond became masriach, like you say in Hebrew, because all the fish died. Vadogo hashabayor, meisa vayiva shayor. So the Goyim are afraid to let, and they don't let the Jews go. They say, Tashlich, amazing what Chabad has done for Yiddishkeit. So, true. When you go to these far places, the only thing there is Chabad. Now, I don't think I criticized that, and if I did, so I regret it. And now I say they're definitely doing a tremendous service to Klal Yisrael by going in all these places. What I'm saying is, don't think that we, the so-called misnagdim, don't think that we didn't do something for Klal Yisrael. The work that Lev Lachim has done is tremendous. And what am I going to do now? I'm going to start measuring. I'm going to start counting how many did they be Mekarev and how many did they be Mekarev. And then I'm going to start judging to what were they Mekarev them and to what were they Mekarev them. You want me to do that? I can't do that. I'm not capable of doing that. But I'm prepared to praise the kiruv that the Mishnayim have done.
Rabbi Kaplan.
What?
I'll just remind our listeners a little bit of what you did say. I listened to the both parts. Anybody that wants to hear it, I think it's called Between Rav Alyashiv and the Chabad Rebbe.
Yeah.
And you can find it. It was about in May 2017. Now, at one point you said Rav Nuria.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so so what I said is that don't say that the Misnagdim don't care about Klal Yisrael. And this mitzvah that you have to make fun of the Misnagdim and to be over on the first Igeris and the second Igeris in the Gros HaKodesh that he said you shouldn't make fun of them. And I think he also said you shouldn't look down on them, the Igeris that starts with Katonti Miklach HaSodim. And this was your Menachem. This means of making fun of them, you're wrong, because they have been Mekarev. And I said that Rav Alyashiv and Rav Steinman have a different approach to kiruv. That's what I said. Now, what did they say? They say that to be Mekarev to Yiddishkeit is with a daf gemara. Now, I don't know exactly how it's done and when it's done and where it's done, how many it's been done, but it has been done. To be Mekarev to Yiddishkeit is with a daf gemara, and it has been successful. Now, of course, they've been all kinds of other ways. Now, does that mean Chabad's way is wrong? No. That means there is such an approach of the power of a blood gemara. Somebody said, Rab Tzvi Meir, I heard, he told this story that somebody said he's Mekarev Yidden. He Mekarev youngsters that he learns with them Baba Kama. So somebody said, you don't know how low these youngsters are. So the other one answered him back, true, I don't know how low they reached, but you don't know what Baba Kama is all about. Yeah, of course he doesn't know. If you don't learn the Tanya, Parak Hey and Parak Vov, you don't know what Baba Kama is. True. The Ritzonu, the Chochmos Ritzonu Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mamish, and the strongest kiruv to Hashem is Baba Arba Ovas Nezikin Ashor V'Abor. That is the strongest Hizkarvus to Hashem. And so if it's in the Baal Tanya, it says there is no stronger dveikus to Hashem than by Torah. And when he said Torah, he didn't mean only Hasidus. He meant any kind of Torah. He meant Arbovas Nuziknet Snimos in Betalis, and like you like to say, Shoshanagah Hapara, he meant everything. And that is the strongest Dveikas Bashem through learning that. Now, could anybody think that by learning a Daf Gemara with an outsider, that it shouldn't bring him close to Yiddishkeit? I mean, could you doubt the words of Rav Alyashiv and Rav Steinman that they said that with this you'll bring them close to Yiddishkeit? That you'll learn with them a Daf Gemara and then they'll become close? Could anybody doubt it after learning Perek Hey and Perek Vov in the Tanya? Now, and it has happened. There was once, a few years ago, like around 6 years ago maybe, it was Purim. It came to me, Bochum go around collecting for their yeshivas. Three Bochum came to collect for their yeshiva. Yeshiva Zachenu from Rabbi Rachmil Kram. Did I maybe tell this?
Yes, you told about Rav Kram, yes.
Oh, so Rav Kram has I think it's still around, these yeshivas, or maybe it's more than one, or one, I don't know. And these are teenagers from Chiloni houses, Mechalei Shabbos, that he brought them to yeshivas, and he learned with them a Daf Gemara. And these three Bochum came to me, such adinut, such edelkeit, such balmidas, refined, and they came collecting for their yeshivas hachenu. I asked them, where do you come from? We're from Bat Yam, Afula, these kind of places. What kind of families do you come from? Say Mechalei Shabbos, B'kitzur. Three Bochum. I would never know, just from looking at them, that they come from House of Mechalei Shabbos. They looked like Yeshiva Brochim L'chol Dover. I asked them, what sugya are you learning? What are you learning? What they're learning about Metzia. One says he's learning the sugya of Kinyan Chotz. One says he's learning the sugya of Tofish Lebal Chov. And they had such the edelkeit of what by us we call Ben Torah. I don't know if by you, Chabad, there is such a concept. And you probably look down on that concept. And it's probably a mitzvah by you to look down on it, because that's what makes Hasidus, according to the Reiner Rebbe. You can't be a Chassid Chabad if you don't be mezalzel and misnagdim. But accompanied by us, there's such a word, B'nai Torah, and they had the edelkeit of B'nai Torah and everything. And I had such a good feeling talking to them that I said to her, I saw Rabbi Rachmil Kram later, so I said to him, if I would have had it in my hand, $1 million, on the spot I would have given it to them. I was so excited from talking and hearing about what happened to them. Now, that means, what did they do to them? They didn't come and they prove this and prove that. Now, what are you going to say? The Maisa is the Iker. There is such a Lashon Maisa Iker. Where does it say those words? I don't know, but maybe in the Tanya it says it. That the Maisa Iker. Now, so what? So what are you going to say? That when you go out in the street and you put on tefillin to people, so they're doing a Maisa mitzvah. So you bring Mekarv them to Hashem through a Maisa mitzvah. Did I say that not? Did I say that that's not the way to do it? Did I look down and I talk against? And if I did, so I regret it. What I was saying is, don't make fun of us. Hizaru b'divreichem. And there were a lot that were niskarf to Yiddishkeit through a Daf Gemara. Not Dafka, I would say a Daf Gemara, but through the organization Lev Lachim that goes according to the guidance of the Gedolei Torah, of the so-called Misnagdim, that don't make fun of somebody different than you. Don't make fun of somebody that doesn't do what your Rebbe said. That's what I said, and that's what I meant, and that's what I'm saying now. And what exactly I said over there, I don't remember. Now, your Rebbe didn't tell people to go out and teach a blot Gemara, would that be Mekarav? Okay. But he kavshi drachmon alomoloch. He said a maisu. But I want to ask another question. But the Baal Tanya himself says in the Tanya that that dibur is akimas of avimaisa, that when you move your lips and you teach and you learn Torah by moving the lips, you're doing a maisa. That's considered a maisa. What are you saying that? What are you saying that they're not doing a maisa? Now I know it. Now you whoever commented over there, according to, I don't know you, and I don't know your capabilities, but according to what I'm Messiah, you don't have an answer to this question. You're not smart enough to answer this question. Why do I say this? Why do I say you're not smart enough? How do I know you? I'll tell you why. Because you said that this is what it says in the Gemara, in the Yerushalmi, Amor Sheba Machziron Lamutav. So your lashon in your comment was, how do you know that it doesn't go in Panimius HaTorah? What do you want to say with that? What kind of language is that? How do I know it doesn't go in that? First of all, did I say it doesn't go in that? It goes on that, and on Gemara, and on Medrash, and on Tosefta, and on Sifri, and on Chumash Rashi it goes. Maybe on Omalat Torah and Gemara and Tosefta it goes more, maybe. Or Omal in Chasidis, yeah. Maybe on that also, maybe, yeah. I don't deny that. But you can't say to me, how do you know it doesn't go on that? I'll tell you, it goes on everything. I'll tell you why I say that. Because it says, Halavai osi ozvu v'torasi shamar. They should keep my Torah. Shamar shabor, the light that's in it. In it, what's it? The Torah. Machziron lamutav. It says the word Torah. Does it say what part of Torah? It doesn't say. So what do you come? The light that's in it, it says. What do you want to say? It's only Pnimius HaTorah. I mean, that's what you're saying. Because you want to argue on me. And I'm saying it goes on Gemara also. You say, no, it goes only on Pnimius HaTorah. How do you know that? What do you mean? I have to bring the proof? You have to bring the proof. You're saying it goes only on that. Where do you see that? It says Hamor, the light, Sheba, that's in Torah. Okay, I understand you. You want to say Amor Sheba means that part of Torah that has light in it, which is Pnimis HaTorah, and that's Chasidus Chabad. So that part, Machziron Lamutav. That means Osi Ozvu. And Torasi could also be Ozvu, according to you. Gemara, Rashi, and Tosfos, they're also allowed to be Ozvu. But they would learn Chasidis, which is that part of Torah that has light in it. That would be Machziron Lamutav. That's how you're saying. So that means what? The Torah, Torasi, does not mean my Torah. It means a certain chelik of Torah. Saying, okay, you want to learn like that? It could be. I mean, it doesn't sound so derech hapshad.
Rabbi Kaplan.
What?
Just let me say a word here, or you could explain it also. I was going to say, why do we call this between the Chabad Rebbe and Rav, what do we say there, Rav alyashiv? Because of the story of Rav Nuria.
Oh, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, slowly. I'm a little bit slow. So, that's what I'm saying. So what are you saying? What are you saying to me? How do you know that that's not what it means? I mean, it doesn't make sense if you understand what I just said. And if you did say something like that, I don't know if you'll understand what I just said. And I'll soon explain another reason why you won't understand. Now, I want to tell you a story. There's a book in Chabad about the Rebbe and his connection with other Gedolei Yisrael, other Rabbanim. And but Mikra, it once happened. I once went someplace, don't remember where, don't remember anything. And that book was lying on our table someplace, and I just opened it up, and I read a few lines and closed it. What did I read a few lines? I see mamish, everything is bashgacha prot.
Rav Kaplan.
What?
The book is probably from Rav Shalom Dober Volpi, Shemin Sasol Mehavarecha, and Rav Volpi is the mechutan of Yedidenu, Rav Yankov Moshe Spitzer.
Oh, wow, girl. Amazing. So, yeah, it could be. So it says there like this, that a Rav Neria from Kfaro went to America, and he went to Bavcha Rebbe, and he said that his work is he works with the youth, and he brings youth from all kinds of outsiders, from very weak families, not Toradic, and maybe not even from. And he has a yeshiva, Kfar Roev, a Dati Lumi yeshiva, and he's carved them to Yiddishkeit by learning Gemara. That's what he said. So says this Rav Neria, he's a Litei, he comes from Lithuania. So said the Lubavitcher, yeah, okay, but Afal Pekan, Ha'maisa hu ha'ikr. The ikr is the maisa, to do something, to put on tefillin, and to do the maisa, that's the ikr. So okay. I mean, who am I to say Deus? But I don't know. It's not me. I'm saying over from what they call by us Gedolei Yisrael, and they said with a daf gemara, So what's the pshat? Because so what they're saying? I mean, of course, the pshat is like this: if somebody is lomei Torah shalom anas lasus, and he's not mekayem mitzvah, so the whole Torah is not worth anything. It's domek ilon shanof of meruvin shrosh muatin, and bo ruach v'fachto alponav, right? But what's wrong with true? But does that mean that we're talking about somebody that doesn't have anything, zero, and he brings them back through a daf gemara? So you're gonna say that that's not the way to bring them back? I mean, what? By doing mitzvahs, by putting on tefillin to them? I mean, why is this also? Maybe this could also bring back. I mean, if the Tanya says that there's no stronger dveikis in Hashem more than limudat Torah, so can't that bring somebody back to Yiddishkeit? If you take glue and you stick him on vatum adveikim b'Hashem Elokeichem, that's the vatum adveikim. So you can't understand that that'll bring him back to Yiddishkeit. I don't understand what does he want from Rav Neria? What does he want from? Unless you can be Melamed Schus that he means that you make that the Iker, and then later on, after they finish learning, they could go out and do Averas. So what's the whole learning worth? You're sending the whole learning to the Satan, to the Tzadat Tumah. What's your learning worth? Maybe that's what he means. It's not any Maisa because the Avera is Mechabe Mitzvah. I don't know, but it says Avera Mechabe Mitzvah and Avera Mechabe Torah. I don't see what could be wrong with what Rav Neria said. I mean, he's not from our people, but so what? But what could be wrong with what he said? I don't understand it. Could you explain it to me, you commentator?
The commentator, he calls himself Menachem 358.
Menachem 358. What did we say 358 is Gematria? Mashiach. What else?
Nachash.
Oh. Okay. So could you explain me what Rav Neria, why was he wrong? I mean, one of the things, I mean, he said a lot of things he said wrong, but what was wrong with this? I don't understand it. But Rav Alyashiv said it, Rav Steinman said it, and I know one story. I could tell you one story that my son once used to go to learn with somebody in Beitar. He would learn different sfarim of Kadmonim, of connected to Mechgar, like Kuzrimar and Avuchim, these kind of sfarim. He learned with this genius. His name was what's his name?
Erez Gazit.
Erez Gazit, I think that was his name, yeah. And he was about Shiva, obviously, and he was very smart. And he started with my son, and he had a lot of knowledge. And this person used to go to Uman every year for Rosh Hashanah. And Mitzad said he was a Talmid of Rav Moshe Shapiro. I think my son lost contact with him after he got married. So this Erez Gazit told my son that he has a brother that he was not from. And he said to his brother, listen, take a daf Gemara and try it out, and then we'll talk afterwards. His brother was also smart. He's Israeli, he knows Hebrew and Aramaic, I guess he could figure out. And he sat for a whole day or 2 days, and he sat on a daf Gemara. And when he finished, he said, okay, I'm signing up. I'm becoming from. After learning a daf Gemara, he said, how could you explain? So what are you going to say? It's only one story. You can't bring a raya from one story. Only the Deb. Yeah, but only you're allowed. You're allowed to bring rayas from one story, right? Only we're not allowed, You know, you people, you have a party line. I know what it is. I don't think I said anything against Chabad. Why can it be that that's a derech? And what I'm saying is a derech. I'm talking about the greatness of the daf Gemara. Like that person said it's not that I don't know what these bachrim are or how low they are. It's that you don't know what Baba Kama is. So the same thing as over here. I'm revealing to you what Baba Kama is. I'm revealing to you what the Tanya said in Parakeh and Parakvov, that it's Kipshuto Mamish. Is anything wrong with saying that it's Kipshuto Mamish? I mean, what you can't argue on that. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Well, first of all, before I ask the question, I want to say another thing that you might ask. There were so many that they learned Gemara. I think your lashon was they learned Gemara and they came out professors. Now, I'm not so sure what you mean. Do you mean that they came out Rosh Yeshivas, but their whole Torah was in the tzura of a professor, that he gives lectures? It's lectures on Torah, has no sheikhs to Hashem. That's what you might mean, which is a very good criticism. And another thing you might mean, that they became professors, they chilonim mamish, you might mean, and still they learned Gemara. But okay, now that's already, I don't know, but let's take the first one. What do you mean? That there were some that they learned Gemara and they came out professors, meaning that they became Rosh Yeshivas, which are the equivalent of professors. You're right, there are such people. And it's wrong. And the Chazal already mentioned it. Lo zocho nasalo sam hamoves. This same Gemara can become a sam hamoves. And the Gra says that the Torah, since the Torah is like rain, yaruf kamotor likri, rain can make grow whatever is in the ground. If it's tevuah, it makes the tevuah grow, and it brings life to people. Okay, that lechem is masbia, brings life, and if it's samamovis is in the ground, it makes the samamovis grow, and then it kills people. That's what the Torah can become Asama Movis. There were such people that the Torah was for them Asama Movis. Now, if I take this holy Torah, which is the strongest Dvekis B'Hashem, and I want to use it on an outsider to bring him close to Hashem. Now, are you saying to me I shouldn't use it to bring him close to Hashem because maybe it'll be a Sama Movis to him, just like it is to certain Rosh Yeshivas? Is that what you want to say? You want to use these Rosh Yeshivas that are the equivalent and the same like professors, you want to use them as an example to disprove the Koach HaTorah of bringing people close to Hashem. Is that what you want to say? I think after you hear the way I'm putting it, you can't continue saying what you said. But, on the other hand, if you could use such a language that maybe it means Pnimius HaTorah, and with that you're arguing on me, so obviously you're not analytical, and you're not a Balavonim. So maybe you do want to say that. I mean, maybe you are Mesugal to say such a thing. That the Torah, the Gemara, can't bring a person close to Hashem and from and Yiddish because there's some that learned Gemara and they became only professors of Talmud. Maybe, I don't know, I'm choshet that you're Mesugal to say such a thing. Not like the Baal Tanya says. The Torah makes Dvekis B'Hashem. I don't know, but if we have a Chiloni boy, a teenager, a Tmimistic teenager, and we want to bring him close to Hashem, is there anything wrong with using the Gemara as a tool to bring him close to Hashem and being melamed zchus on him that he does not have any poison in his heart that will grow through the Torah? Is any reason not to look at it that way? I mean, you're always being melamed zchus on the chilonim, so why can't we be melamed zchus on the chilonim, especially youngsters that they don't know any better, and say, I can assume that this piece of Gemara will bring that youngster close to Hashem, because I think his heart is not poisoned, does not have some movis in it. He just doesn't know any better. Why can't I assume that? So what are you asking me from others that you saw? You're bringing me examples from certain people? I mean, that's what you're saying does not make any sense. But I'll tell you why you're saying things that don't make any sense. Because by you and Chabad, there's a party line. There's certain language that you all talk, and you all say the same thing. I once met somebody that he's from England and he lives in America, an old bocher. He was niskarf to Chabad. I could say his name. His name is Avram Trepp. So I learned with his father. His father was a Erlachayid. And the son came to visit the father, old bocher. And he says, I'm talking to him about his father, about this and that. And so he says to me, he starts telling me about Chassidus and how important it is to learn Chassidus. And he's using the exact same language as I was in Chabad. I used to go to Torah Semis, and then the Meir Sharm, there was a yeshiva Torah Semis. I used to go there, I used to talk to Bochum. And I know how they talk. I know their language. And he used the exact same language. What do you think? I was born yesterday? Does he think I don't know all this? No, he's just saying it over. And yeah, of course, Gemara is important. Of course, it's important. But without Hasidus, it doesn't go. I mean, I even say Beferish. She might not be wrong. Yeah, maybe without Hasidus, for people like me, the Torah could become a Samamovis, right? So, by Derech Agav, I would say, what would be the din if somebody keeps chazering over Einod Milvado Hashem Echad, and just the basics, and he keeps remembering that when he learns Torah? Is it so? Is his Torah going to be so poisoned just because he didn't learn that particular derech of Havona of Pnimius HaTorah, which is called Chabad? I'm not so sure. Now, so you have a party line. Now, you heard somebody. Now, you whoever you are, what's your name? What's his name again?
Menachem 358.
What?
Menachem
358. So you heard me talking. Now, you didn't listen good. You didn't analyze exactly what I said. You just heard somebody differing from the way of Chabad. So you say, he's probably a misnag, and then he probably means this, and he probably means the mice is not the cure, and he probably is praising those professors of Talmud that the Torah made them a samamobas. That's probably what he means. And we have to use the party line against him. That's how you assumed. I'll tell you a story. Many years ago, I used to go to Yeshivas Torah Semes and then the Menachem and learn Chassidus with certain Bach. There was a kutza from Kfar Chabad that came to Torah Semes to be mechazik, whatever. There was somebody there, his name was Moshe Perman from Kfar Chabad. I heard a shmue that later on he went to South America someplace. Now, so he was called a bahar that learns good. So I was to me a mistake. I was very excited about Chassidus Chabad and Tanya. I was a young boy. As a young boy, I was intelligent. I was looking. I was searching. So I asked him, tell me about you and your yeshivas. Did they learn what? There's such a thing that they call by us the yeshivisha mesechtes. The mesechtes that they learn in yeshivas, noshim nezikin mainly. So I said, is it like that by you also? So he said to me, you mean that Hasidim don't learn? Well, man, why should you think that that's what I asked? Did you hear me say that? Did you hear me say such words? I asked, do you learn what we call yeshivisha mesechtes? Well, what's so hard to understand? The answer is that Chabad is so used to their party line that to react to something that an outsider says, there's certain answers that you say, and that outsider, it's assumed that he says this and this, and it's assumed that we're supposed to answer this and this. That you say Hasidim don't learn, so I'll tell you Hasidim do learn. So what? Well, what'll be? Maybe you could listen a little bit better to what the outsider said and answer on what he said. But no. But yeah, you could. It might be a good idea. But the party line is this and this. So he said, you mean Hasidim don't learn? So that's it. I said, no, I'm asking, do you learn these mesechtes that they learn in yeshivas? So again, you mean to ask that Hasidim don't learn? You see, that's how it goes by you. So you heard somebody talking about the inyonim that Chabad is osik in. So you didn't bother to listen good to what I said. Only what you said, he's talking that there is something outside of Chabad. So boom, this is what you're supposed to answer. What about you? And what about this? And Amar Sheba means something else. And I know the carbonated says over there, I know all that. But I'm asking, is anything wrong with going with the pasta? Is anything wrong with that? And besides that, you heard what I said until now. And I'm assuming that you're not going to understand what I said, because I'm not talking with the party line, and I'm not answering on the party line, and I'm saying my own thing, and I'm not going against Chabad. But this is everything what I wanted to say. And I'm not expecting you to understand what I'm saying, but I'm saying it anyway. But in the end of my whole talk, I want to ask something else. I want to tell you there's a certain Aveira in the Torah, in the Shulchan Aruch, in the Poskim, which is to do, in the middle of Chazar Sashad, to do something else, to learn something, especially if you learn Bedibur in the middle of Chazar Sashad. It's a big Aveira. Now, the Shulchan Aruch says, Gal Avonu Minaso, and somebody who talks in the middle, right? But if somebody learns in the middle, it says Gorim, but what does the Baal Tanya say? besides Gorimbo, he also says Garimbo, or he also uses stronger language. Hello?
Yeah, the Balatanya is very machpid to even look at a sefer during Hazos Hashatz.
Oh, some say, why is it that it's very, very shchiach in Chabad to do this Aveira going against the halacha, which is in the Shulchan Aruch and in the Shulchan Aruch Harav, and nobody argues on it, to say Chitas or to say Rambam in the middle of Chazar Hashatz? Why is that?
Rabbi Kaplan.
What?
Just to say what I personally daven in a Chabad minyan for many years, but now for the last 2 years. And I'm telling you, I went with some very fine Chabad Hasidim, and I've told them, you're not allowed to do this. It says in Shulchan Aruch Gorimbo, and we have a Kabbalah where it says Gorimbo, that it's mazik the whole seaboard. They're mazik the whole seaboard, but they don't do it. They don't listen.
Right.
And it's most of them. It's more than half that do it.
Right. I'm asking you, you're starting to punch. I'm punching back. Everything I said till now was logical talk, analytical talk, sensible talk. And now I'm punching. Yeah, right. Magia lecha. I'm punching you. Why is it that Hasidus didn't teach you that every piece of Yiddishkeit is so important? Chazar Sashat, davening Shemona Esrei, which is Balachash, which is supposed to be Bein Ola Bein Kono Balachash, but the Koach HaTzibur is so powerful that you can daven out loud. And when everybody listens, the Arizal says it's more than the Tefillah, it's higher than the Tefillah Balachash. Why can't you? And it's this Hiskavus Lashem that Tefillah does, so Chazar Sashat does much more. So then doesn't Pnimiyas Torah should make a person understand much, much more the greatness of Chazar Sashat, even without learning in detail what's the secret of Chazar Sashat, but just to know there's such a thing as a tefillah that could be B'kol. I mean, doesn't Pnimiyas Torah give you a much stronger understanding in how powerful that is, and what a churban it is to learn something in the middle or to say something else in the middle? Doesn't that give you that koach? I mean, okay, so mutter, it's shogegin, right? Understand? It's hard to finish chitas every day and 3 prakim in Rambam, and Rambam is not so easy at all. But just understand it. But doesn't Pnimiyas Torah help you to prevent you from doing this Aveira? I'm asking you. And of course it's hard to finish all these things in a day, so Chazar Sashat gives you time to do it. So you're all nichsa on it. And what would be if we would be nichsa on it? What would you say then? Anyway, this is my last punch, and if you don't understand what I said, I'm mochel you. I don't expect you to understand everything I said, and you'll say that by saying this I'm a balgaiva. That could be I'm a balgaiva, but I have reason to think you won't understand, because I saw the way you said, how do you know it doesn't mean Pnimiyas Torah? I really don't know. Maybe it does mean Pnimiyas Torah. Was there anything wrong with me learning Pshat Pashit? And if you could criticize by why do you learn Pashit? You could learn not Pashit. The Torasi means a certain chelik atardum. If you could talk like that, if that's how your mind works, I don't expect you to understand what I'm saying. And with this I finished, and I hope Mashiach will come B'Karv and will make shalom between all the different groups of Klal Yisrael.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Rabbi Kaplan.